Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. Good to see y'all. This is Araya Anra coming to you live and for the love of dragons. And gosh, lots going on as usual. This year is so big for energies and there seems to be always something to update, something to be paying attention to and looking for. And so I want to share with you guys, especially since I wasn't here last week. Thank you. I had a wonderful week off. It's always refreshing and invigorating to have some time in nature, to take some time out and just breathe and be still. Hello Debbie, good to see you. So want to share with you where we're headed now. Some of you are aware that we're beginning, apparently tomorrow is the beginning of a certain opening with the Syrian energies moving into the Lion's Gate, August 8th. So for the next couple of weeks, you're going to feel an enhanced alignment of galactic energies, specifically Syrian, and the divine flow coming towards us to assist in higher states of consciousness, higher awareness, bringing us into even more balance within, and everything that your journey has been up to this point being really more supported. So taking advantage of these next few weeks to really breathe, to really focus inward. And you know, we've still got this state of chaos. We've got a lot of external upheaval and chaos and uncertainty and all kinds of things happening in the world. And this is where right now, as we envision and hold the space for the new earth that we're creating, because we are the creators. This is really what we're here doing. We are the co-creators with the divine. So we are the ones that are manifesting how we want this to look, how we want it to be moving forward. It can be as expansive and spacious and new and high frequency as we can envision and hold, or it can be just a next step up based on really how much light we're willing to hold, how much work we're willing to do right now to step into that, to step into the allowance of our bodies to receive what is coming. So knowing we're in this phase, I think for several months now I've been talking about this sense, and maybe not so much on the lives but in my groups with the Dragon Hearts and the book club, how I've been feeling the energy shifting forward for us, almost like reaching over the edge of the cascade and really barreling forward between about July 18th, which was 3 days ago, and moving towards the solstice in December. And never looking, because I don't pay too close of attention to astrology until it comes in. Hello Terry, all the way down in South Africa. Until it comes in and I get this confirmation, because I get my own information here, and then as I move towards dates and things that I've received, then all of a sudden the astrological alignments start making themselves known to me, whether it's by posts or emails or things that I get from different people, and it gives me that confirmation of why or what I was receiving. So knowing we're sort of at this hump, we're sort of at the juncture of, all right, big breath in. We've been really churning and moving through a lot of stuff. Doesn't mean that the density is going to be gone, but we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's still lots of work to do, but it's like, all right, we've gotten over the hump. We've gotten over what you might look at as, for those that exercise or are aware of that point when your body, especially if you've ever been a runner or a hiker, where you're going up a mountain and you really huff and puff the first part of it. Maybe if you're running a 6-mile thing, it takes you a mile to get your body into a sync, into a rhythm. Maybe you're hiking on a long thing, and it takes you 3/4 of a mile to a mile to find your rhythm, to get into it, and it feels like work. It feels like pushing against your nature. It feels like pushing against the gravity. And then all of a sudden you get into this zone. Even if you're still climbing, you get into a zone where your body just knows what to do, and it's in its pattern, it's in its rhythm and sync, and it just moves forward. And then the rest of it is more enjoyable. It's almost a more, you get into that, what they call a runner's high, or a space when you're hiking where you're just in tune. You're in sync not only with yourself, but with the environment. And this is where we're entering. This is the phase now. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago on July 7th, we finished the center point of the bridge building that the Dragon Hearts are working with all of the Dragon community to build the scaffolding and the bridge across into the new earth as the templates are being completed there. I was shown and told that the template of the new earth would be complete in August. So that means, yes, we're definitely approaching and nearing that gap being open. What is that meaning? That's meaning, all right, we're getting in the zone. What do we do in the zone? We hold an incredibly still space. We get into that place within our rhythm where we know intuitively and synchronously and both consciously and unconsciously in every moment of our breath and every day the space that we need to be holding. Because those of us that are here as dragons specifically are holding a space for all of the rest to align to that. So holding that vision and breathing in and really aligning to your essence, which is dragon for many of you. And holding that space of, all right, now we're in the zone and I have to maintain that. I'm not going to get pulled out. I love a phrase that one of my dragon hearts used when we did our activation yesterday, and I'll share that. He said, don't get pulled into the trenches. This is the key. And it's a really great way to look at it. If you imagine, like a war zone or a battlefront going forward, it sort of feels like that, the chaos in the world. It feels like we're in a space that is like the final battle zone, the final pushing through a barrier to get to where we want to be. And we don't have to necessarily see it as a battle or a war, but the light brigades are out. All the teams and the warriors of light, the legions of light, have been called forth. So using whatever terminology works for you to see that, all right, this is the final push. And our key is not to battle. It's not to get brought into the fight and the dualistic nature which a battle is. A battle is two sides confronting each other. So if we align ourselves in the middle, in the light, in that space of union, where if you have two spheres, the Vesica Pisces crosses, and we hold that space in the middle, that is the zone of union. That's where we hold that light. That's where we expand into all that we want to be. And we don't let ourselves get pulled into the trenches on either side. No matter what beliefs or things are going on politically or socially out in your community, it's about holding that space in the center of, I don't have to choose a side. It's not about choosing sides anymore. It's about holding the light and allowing us to all come into a communal space moving forward. And so this is the bridging forward. And the energy is moving towards that, allowing yourself to see, feel, and know what's going on energetically behind you. So we've got this activation on the 8th of August coming up. A large group of dragon hearts are going to be connected to that. And I will announce beforehand the exact timing of that, so that if you want to tune in and just add your supportive energy to the embodied sphere that we're going to be working with, absolutely, that's for a big, huge communal exponential effect, right? Preparing for that, we had the activation June 6th and then July 7th. And then yesterday, many of you know that I was meant to be in Mount Fuji to do the activation in person there in the first part of July. So I was planning to be there the 8th to the 15th. So interestingly, how everything divinely aligns, I was meant to expand into being able to transport myself and my team to wherever I need to be in the world. So this activation I was pushed to do remotely. Timing-wise, it was meant to be yesterday in a perfect alignment of some things that were shown to me. And so it was after that 18th. It was after that moment of knowing, all right, we're sliding forward now. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about that, because I had a core team of a couple dragon hearts with me that I was shown to include, who are some very large players on the dragon scheme. And so we held space, and knowing that if you felt something energetically, last night, it was at Pacific Standard Time last night, 6:33 p.m., which aligned, for any of you that know about sidereal time. Sidereal time is a galactic alignment time that is slightly off daily from our normal Greenwich Mean Time, right? And it's an alignment where at a certain point in the day every day, which is 13:30 or 1:30 in the afternoon, on sidereal time, it's the highest galactic alignment for cosmic and metaphysical connection or psychic connection to the other dimensional planes, to these higher frequency bands. And so we aligned it, knowing it needed to be yesterday, and at that, it happened to be 13:30 sidereal time was 6:30 here. So I guess it was actually 6:33 p.m. And so we pulled together and aligned, and what was part of it, what was beautiful, because there might have been just this core of dragon hearts actually doing the activation, but many of you may have felt the energy because you're in the dragon lineages and you're connected. Others might have just been aware of like feeling something shift, and maybe for those of you, especially in Europe, it would have been in your dream time last night, or you woke up today feeling like we've turned a corner, something's been birthed or happened. And so that's what I want to share with you is it is a bigger communal team. Whether you feel like you were directly connected to it or not, you're part of the group sphere because you're in this family of dragon group sphere, and many of you have been a part of a book club or a part of programs or a part of my readings and sessions, and so all of that connection is present, and you're going to feel anything energetically that we do. And I want to put out a thank you to those that had a part in this, because I was shown before I was supposed to go. Hello, Arnaud. Speaking of which, part of the family. Before I was planned to go to Japan, I was shown that it was going to be an actual physical trine on the planet, through the planetary, that with Mount Fuji there was a direct alignment link to the Grand Canyon and to Sicily, Mount Etna in Sicily, in Italy, and that those three create a perfect trine through the core of the planet at that latitude that was critical for the activation that was needing to happen in Mount Fuji. Specifically under Mount Fuji is the Hara space, or the power center of a new 13th dragon that revealed 2.5 years ago. I'd always seen the head, but the whole body revealed finally during the first Dragon Heart program. And there's more to come on that, because I'm being shown that even though we're transitioning to the Lyrans and the feline kingdom, the golden winged lions taking over the grid maintenance and stationment or holding of the grids, that this dragon is not part of the 12 of the Council of Mu that will be released, but there's something new, and I've not been shown exactly what that is, but I can see her, I know where she is in the floor of the ocean, and her power center sits under Mount Fuji. And so this was a main piece of the activation, or what I knew going in. And in showing this alignment, some of the beautiful things that happened in this, one, first, I was given, because of the connections that I have to some of you in the world, I want to put a thank you out to Pina, and I want to put a thank you out to Susan, and that's the extent of their names that I'll give just for their own anonymity or sake, but I was able to receive from them a piece of the earth, a piece of the volcanic rock from Etna, from Sicily, and it's, interestingly, you can't see it too well, but it's almost in the shape of a heart, and I was able to get a stone that actually looks like a dragon head from an area around the Grand Canyon. So with those, it made the astral projection and the connection to the energy lines of those spaces easier to follow, easier to connect with. So I want to put a huge thank you and deep gratitude out to them, and for all of those that are part of the family that were holding the outer sphere, whether you were conscious of it or not. And so the big points of this is, one, the release of our tether to the Shadowlands. This was big. This was the first piece that happened with it, as a huge crystal and band of frequency came in. The release. So what does that mean? The release of our tether to the Shadowlands. This is one of the pieces in moving us out of duality, and moving us out of the densities of the polar opposites. So in order to be in the polar opposites, there's been a tether, or a point of tethering into the deepest, densest space. And if that's in the Shadowlands and we pull that tether out, it allows everything to band into union. And that was the other piece, was and let me see if I can find my specific alignment of wording. Not sure where I put my notes, but it was about all communities, here it is, all worlds collapsing into one. So there were two specific phrases that came through in my meditation that I was continuously told to repeat and remember and bring out, that these were the two specific keys: the release of our tether to the Shadowlands, and our all worlds collapsing into one. it's that release of the tether that allows the worlds to collapse into one. And what does that mean? We've been talking for a long time about the integration of all of our bodies, of all our incarnational aspects back into the main soul monad or light body. That as those all come in, both for ourselves individually and also for Gaia, for her timelines of experience, that as we gather those in and all collapse into one, what does it allow? It allows a 0 point. It allows a space moving into a new potentiated reality with nothing there holding us back. No baggage, no memories that are like leftover woundings or traumas that are still trying to be worked through, no karmic balance. We go through the doorway free of all that. That is all being balanced and integrated now, which allows the writing or coding of it into the Akasha. So that's a piece that happened yesterday, that Gaia's coding of all of the different events that have happened in all the timelines in this cycle are now part of the Akasha, which means we don't forget them. We have the wisdom of them, but we are no longer tethered to them affecting a new potentiated reality, a new seeding into a totally different expression or expansion. So that's pretty exciting. The other piece that I saw that you might become aware of if you want to connect to Fuji or the Grand Canyon or Sicily is that at the end of it, there were many other things that went on that I'm not necessarily going to share all of it, but these key pieces, at the end there was a crystalline temple that activated just above the summit of Fuji. And when we tuned in and went to each of the sites, there was also one above the Grand Canyon, there was also one above Sicily, above Mount Etna. So these 3 crystalline temples will have some significance in the new grids, the new geometries that are spinning into activation. And it was very powerful and very exciting. So I wanted to come in and share that with you guys so that you might be aware of things you've been feeling in the last 24 hours and moving forward what this means, because you're going to start feeling your own collapsing of worlds into one, because everything always is microcosm, macrocosm, that the mirroring effect of this being done for Gaia and with Gaia is moving into our own expression of it. So not just that all of your lifetimes are integrating in, but all of the timelines, all of the worlds, and you're going to start feeling it in your cells. Your physical body is going to start going through some shifts to take each cell through that doorway into the new expression where everything's potentiated, and it's like zeroing out or feeling the completion of and the ability to leave many pieces that no longer resonate anymore behind, like just free of them. So beautiful, beautiful piece on that. Whew, big breath there. Remember to breathe. Breathing right now to take you into expanding your lungs, allowing health and healing and light to be infused through your body in every moment, and taking time for you. Taking time for you is going to be really, really important over these next phases. Really paying attention to what your body is asking of you. And I've talked about this for the last 2 months or more, of really allowing your body to lead the way of what you need in each moment. And it's a big psychological patterning that we have of what we need to push ourselves to do and through and complete and accomplish and whatever every day. Yes, Robin, catch the full replay. Allow yourself to really follow that intuitive guidance, to really step into a new patterning of no longer following your social conditioning, your patterning from what life or other sources expect and call you forth to do every day. Allow some of that to drop away, to listen to your heart, to listen to your intuition, and let yourself stop and take that in. So that's the main pieces for today. I do have one other gorgeous thing to share and show you because this is one of the Pleiadian dragons that will be part of the Oracle deck that I've just received in ordering it for one of my dragon hearts, who is Ingor Dashne. But this is our beautiful Ingor Dashne, the indigo dragon of the Pleiades. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous 16 by 20. Still in the packaging, so you're seeing the little reflection of the plastic wrapping, but I am just so thrilled to pieces to be bringing this to Ingor, who has been one of my core supports for a long time, and have that hanging in his house to bring that energy just full front to him every day as he looks at it. So knowing that those are going to be available soon to everyone is very exciting to me, because that energy stream, and I know I've shown you my wall that's building with all of these incredible guys, and here I can just little tidbit there. Some of you have seen it before and some haven't. My collection around the house is starting to expand, and I just, whew, I look at him and I just feel this opening, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. So, whew, I mean, as I said before, the lair opening August 10th. It was meant to open actually in like May, but I've learned to trust the ultimate timing of things, and seeing how those energies between May and August have been playing out with a lot of chaos, a lot of planets in retrograde. I can see why it's been sort of slowed down and pushed back, and needs to be after the gateway is completed, after we really push forward, because the energetics of it are going to be totally different. So excited about that. I know, Robin. I want one of each too, and I'm working on that. So blessings to each of you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this out for anybody that you know needs to hear any of the information that just came across, and looking forward to connecting next week again. I've had a lot of requests for dragon readings and discovery calls coming up here, and I know there's some slots a couple weeks out on my calendar, but making sure you guys are aware of that. Some of you are new to the group and aren't aware of all the tools available. So I do 20-minute free discovery calls. There's no charge to talk to me for 20 minutes about where your direction is headed, what you want to get out of your journey with the dragons, what tools would benefit you the most, what direction you should head. And that's what those 20-minute calls really focus on, getting you where you need to be and what the best resources are for that. And there are so many resources right now. I'm working on a new program. I can't say when it's going to come out, because the recording part of it has not started yet. I've got to find the right frequency and timing to do that in. But there have been multiple guided meditations added this summer. They are powerhouse, especially the black, the white, and the crystal and dragon. They are all part of the frequencies that are needed right now. And I will say the crystal dragon energies, huge part of what happened yesterday, huge part of what we're doing now, because the crystal dragon and the crystalline frequency is that band, that doorway that we came in through it to come into matter, to come into density and human form, material form, and it's the doorway that will lead us out into the new light body, into whatever you can call it, the rainbow body, the light body, that golden frequency, the new earth. But we can't get there until we pass through that doorway zone again. That is the barrier between the earth plane and the next plane. So all of those crystalline frequencies are very, very crucial to work with. So you've got the crystal dragon seed, the mantra recording on the CD that you can play in the background of your meditations. You can use the information in the book to call in the crystal dragon. You can just go and get the, if you don't have the book yet, you can get the crystal dragon download off of the website. And if you have no resources whatsoever, you can go back to March 20th, when I did the equinox meditation with the crystal dragon on the live, and listen to that. But I will say the recording, the three most recent ones added are super powerful energetically, and are creating huge transformation and allowance of energy bands into the body. So you've got your tools, and I will be announcing soon. I'm going to be calendaring the next book club fairly soon. So if you're interested in that, both watch for it, but also give me a little email. Let me know, because there's only so many spaces unless I open it up and do it in a different way, which could happen if there's a lot more demand than the 10 spaces, just with everything being Zoom and remote, and a potential of making the classes bigger if they need to be, because of the time we're in. I want as many people as possible to take advantage of. Oh, thank you, Constance. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I know Constance is new to the information. She's recently gotten the book and all of the guided meditations, and so I'm super excited that Constance is one of those that is finding the tools and diving in. And I've seen a lot of that actually through the website this week. There's been a lot of those downloads and people finding it and diving into all of it all at once, because they can feel the pull, they can feel the big shift happening. So blessings out to you, Constance. Welcome to the family. Good to have you here, and my whole body's tingling on that. So there is a big need to get that out to those of our Dragon community, or those that aren't aware yet, start sharing, get them awakened. Absolutely wonderful, Constance. So looking forward, I think the next book club, because of the time frame we're in, is going to be quite powerful. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know, because I do keep a short list to notify before I notify publicly and get those spaces allotted to those that have really shown interest. So blessings to you. I will see you next Tuesday. Have a wonderful, wonderful, powerful week, and stay centered and stay in your light. Blessings, everybody. We'll see you next time.